Hello and welcome to another video from Between the Ropes TV. Guys, we've got a very different video today I'm going to do with you guys. I'm going to do two videos in one, kind of kill two birds with one stone. I'm going to look at well, it's a big fight in some regards, isn't it? Jake Paul versus Tommy Fury, which is going to be happening in Saudi Arabia on Sunday night. That is on BT box office from 10 p.m. And also, I'm going to be looking at Floyd Mayweather against Aaron Chalmers on UK shows, which is going to be happening on Saturday night in London at the O2. But first of all, Jake Paul, Tommy Fury. This has got all the makings of a grudge match, hasn't it? These two have been at each other's throats for years. It's been off, it's been on, it's been cancelled, it's been put back for all different reasons. We've broken it down on our channel a number of times, reluctantly, but we've got to accept it. This fight is big, whether we like it or not. It's big. And I'm not going to sit down and break these records because, I mean, if there's any proper people that would recognize in core boxers, what I would say though, and I'm being honest here, is Jake Paul has faced a better caliber opponents than Tommy Fury. I think that's clear. I'm open if anyone's got any disagreements with me, but I think that's clear. At least Jake Paul has faced fighters. Anderson Silva, he's faced Tyrone Woodley, who at one point was one of the best MMA fighters. So I can safely say that he's faced people that know how to fight. I'm not too sure with Tommy Fury. You look at his record. Yeah, he's fought Anthony Taylor, who's a former MMA fighter, but he's just an I think he's 5'6", fighting at light heavyweight. He's just in it for the money. The other opponents on his record are, I don't want to say the term laughable because I'm not a pro boxer myself. I'm not a pro fighter myself, but you wouldn't be expecting to build a record facing those guys, would you? For a prospect, I just kind of think when you look at a prospect's record and they've got the opponents that Tommy Fury has on there, you worry about their capabilities. You worry about whether or not they've had enough amateur experience, whether or not they're confident, whether or not they've developed their man strength, their power, why they're being eased into it so much so as a professional. And that's the vibes that I'm getting with Tommy Fury. When you look at their respective pad work, for me, Tommy just looks far too robotic and slow. Jake looks as though he's had about 6 or 7 sessions with a personal trainer and he's putting it together. But in the ring, Jake looks the more polished out of the two. It's weird. It's weird because Jake has never had any boxing amateur experience before. But as I've said on this channel before, he's paid for top quality sparring. He's paid a lot of money for top quality coaching. So it's no wonder he's improving, and he's improving at a higher rate than what Tommy Fury is. I also have to question whether Tommy Fury didn't have the name and didn't have the obvious connection to his half-brother and his dad. Would many people be picking him in this fight? I've got to argue no. I haven't seen anything from Tommy Fury to suggest he's capable of winning this fight. There's a lot of talk about whether he may put it on Jake and Jake may panic. Potentially, that could be true. I'm not going to rule that out. So from that point of view, I kind of contradict myself. But I think Jake has kind of learned how to look after himself. And I think Jake knows his limits, which is why he's not calling out any proper boxers. And I think when you look at Tommy Fury, I know him as being on one of those Love Island celebrity things. And I see him as being that as opposed to a boxer. I don't think he's got anywhere near enough experience as what people think he's got. So I'd be surprised if he wins this. I'm going to go all out on my shield here, and I'm going to say Jake Paul wins. I'm not quite entirely sure how, if I'm going to be honest with you. but I'm pretty confident Jake Paul wins this. I think Jake Paul is a more polished out of the two. Um, I don't know what either guy's like under pressure, what either guy's chin's like, if they're going to go the distance. I don't think we've learned a lot in their previous fights. I just seem to be convinced that Jake is the more polished under the two under the lights. He'll be able to deal with the occasion a bit more. I just think it could be all a bit too much for Tommy Fury. But I wouldn't be surprised if there's a rematch after this. It'll sell a lot. This fight will do really, really well commercially. Jake Paul, whether we like it or not, is becoming a big name. I'm not a fan of it becoming a big name, but he is. Tommy Fury, by way of being related to Tyson Fury and having the Fury surname, is already a credible draw with viewing figures. So I expect this to do reasonably well. So I'm expecting the an explosive affair. To be honest with you, I think the two of them will just go at it. I don't think they've got the skills to be patient, picking the shots, looking for counters, looking to set traps. They don't have the skill set, guys. This is going to be two novices, so expect it to go 100 miles an hour. The same as when you're watching two young amateurs who are going for pride at stake. So that's the way I'm seeing that one. I'm a little bit more intrigued out of two fights with the next one, which is Floyd Mayweather against Aaron Chalmers. Not just because Aaron Chalmers is from my neck of the wood and I'm a massive Floyd Mayweather fan, but because this is the first time Floyd Mayweather has fought in England. When you consider how long and how lavish his career is, all the achievements he's made, it's crazy to think this is the first time we're seeing him on our shows live in a boxing ring. Obviously, he's been over here to promote his fight with Ricky Hatton, and he's been over here before with Clarissa Shields. But to see him over here, fighting over here, even in an exhibition, is going to be surreal. Now, we all know Floyd Mayweather's record and his achievements. And Aaron Chalmers again, I mean, whoever he's fought, it's irrelevant. And I don't mean that in the sense of being arrogant. He's not fought anyone like Floyd Mayweather. So essentially, he's had very little preparation to prepare him for one of the best boxers there's been in a generation. It's an exhibition, so there's not much you can expect from Aaron Chalmers. I mean, what I have liked from these exhibitions with Floyd Mayweather is how aggressive he's been. He's really taken it to people in these fights. So I expect him to stop Aaron Chalmers as well. Having said that, Aaron Chalmers, from what I know, in having seen him in various different gyms and across the city in Newcastle, he's not going to leave that room without a fight. He knows what's on the line and what's at stake for him. He's from a good gym at War's End. That's a very good gym, very reputable gym. Look, he's going to leave it all on the line. My thing to him is what I would say if he was here. He hasn't fought anyone like Floyd Mayweather. That's not his fault. Many people haven't, and he's going to find it difficult in there. But what he is going to use is his youth, his enthusiasm, his fitness, and he's going to try and put it on Floyd. But nothing can prepare him for the skill set of Floyd Mayweather, because although he's 46 years old, his repertoire of skills is unbelievable. And he's still, at this level, he's still razor sharp. He's still razor sharp for this level. So I don't expect Floyd Mayweather to have any problems, and I expect him to stroll through tomorrow night. Absolutely zero problems. And that's not for the want of trying for Aaron Chalmers. That's just to tell you the level and the difference in caliber between the two. One's essentially an amateur just starting out, and the other one's a multi-weight world champion, one of the best that has ever laced the gloves in the last 30 years. If not, he would definitely be in my top 15 of all time. But great on for Aaron Chalmers. He's going to get a wad of cash, and I hope he invests it well, and he can come back and he can have a serious crack at pro boxing in the camp that he's got with War's End Academy behind him, because he has a bit of talent. He's just nowhere in the league of Floyd Mayweather. So that's it, guys. You've heard it from me. You've heard my breakdowns. I'm going for Jake Paul and Floyd Mayweather in relatively comfortable wins. If you disagree, let me know in the chat box. If you agree, let me know. And guys, stay tuned because we have got a lot of content coming in the weeks ahead. We're going to be live again on Monday. We've got a busy weekend as well because it's not just the boxing, we've got the football. Josh and I both have our teams in the League Cup final. So there's a little bit of rivalry there. But joking aside, we've got a lot more to come on. So stay tuned and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.